The only mother I had known in my short life was gone, replaced with something terrible. She let him follow her. From where I hid, I saw his great head butting against her neck and her answering nuzzle. The cubs were agitated at first, but after a while they calmed, and one by one, each of them at last climbed down. I watched as my brothers and sisters made their own separate ways through the forest, quickly swallowed up by the towering trunks and verdant branches. Disorientated, I went too, wandering without direction among the trees, but in time, my tears dried up and my gasping breaths slowed. I knew where I was, and the familiarity of the forest was soothing as I walked. The air was golden green, filtering through the leaves, rich with the scent of pine and cypress and soft black earth. A fat spider squatted in the centre of her web between two branches, her hairy brown body and striped legs almost disappearing against the bark. A snake darted forward, coiling swiftly into a protective circle, the diamond sheen of its scales glittering where the sunlight fell across it. Where the trees thinned out on the higher slopes of the mountain, lions prowled, sleek and soundless through the ragged bushes and rocky outcrops. A forest sharp with fangs and claws, trickling with venom, pulsing with life and beauty. There were 1,000 interconnected threads crisscrossing through it, from the ancient roots soaking up water deep beneath the earth so that the trees could lift their mighty crowns towards the sun, to the insects that burrowed into the deep crevices of the bark, to the birds that nested in the boughs, to the deer that trotted lightly and the stalking predators ready to pounce. And in the heart of it all, there was me. Part 1. Chapter 1. She came to me in the forest after the bears had gone. She would have been an imposing sight to anyone, taller and stronger than any mortal woman would be, although I didn't know that then, with a gleaming bow in her hand, a fierce glint in her eyes, and a pack of hounds at her heels. Even as a small child, however, my curiosity was more powerful than my fear. When she held out her hand to me, I took it. I remember my first sight of the grove where she led me, stepping out from the cluster of cypress trees behind her. I squinted, dazzled for a moment by the golden light reflecting back from the shimmering surface of the pool before us. I screwed up my eyes, opened them again, and blinked. Across the water, set into the sloping mountainside, was a wide cave with large rocks dotted about in front of the entrance, and, perched on the flat plains of the rocks, were women. Nymphs, as I would come to know them. The air rang with their soft chatter and gentle laughter. I looked up at the woman who had brought me here, and she smiled. They gave me berries ripe and sweet. I remember the taste of the cold, clear water they gave me to drink. How clumsy I was, with the cup they held to the mouth of the spring for me. That night, I did not sleep next to the bears' shaggy warmth, the heavy thrum of their hearts beating in my ears, but on a bed of animal skins, and I woke to the sound of a woman singing. It was Artemis who had come for me, I would discover, and it was to her sacred grove that she had taken me. Artemis, the goddess of the hunt, to whom the forest and all its inhabitants belonged. We all fell under her silvery gaze. We all bowed to her might, from the worms slithering in the earth to the howling wolves. The forest of Arcadia shimmered with her power. She gave me to the nymphs to raise. It was their task to teach me what she found too tedious, for them to guide me to understand how they talked, and to learn, haltingly at first, how to respond. For them to show me how to weave the cloth, from which they made the simple tunics they all wore, and how to honour the other gods and goddesses, whose names they taught me, though None of them ever came.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.